Sports Sedan Series, and cars on the grid. In fact, we might take a look at the top 12 as they line up for this 5-lap encounter. From pole position, Keith Carling in the Mazda RX-7. Alongside him, Mike Griffin. On the second row of the grid, Brian Thompson in the big Chevy Monza with Bob Jolly in the Commodore. The third row of the grid, Bill Attard in an RX-7, sharing that row with Graham Stones, also in an RX-7 Mazda. The fourth row of the grid is Albert Cedars in the RX-7, and alongside him, John Vernon in an Escort. The fifth row of the grid, Trevor Ashby in an Escort, Eric Jones in an Alfa Romeo, and rounding out the top 12 drivers will be Tony Herbert in an Escort and Chris Hones in a BMW 320i.
Getting ready, and they're racing and getting away quickly indeed on the inside. Carling, but Griffin grabs the second gear, goes with a Jolly, tries to split them, heading up the hill for the first time. Thompson in for the ride to the top of the hill as they head to Nissan Skyline for the first time. Just look at the field streaming through. Down into Dunlop Loop. Carling getting the best of it as they swing through Dunlop. 13 going through as well.
Eric Jones in the new Alfetta.
Hey, hasn't he made a brilliant start?
He came out of nowhere to come up into fourth position. Brian Thompson there in third. The man that slipped back an awfully long way was Mike Griffin in the RX-7. So it's Keith Carling from Dubbo in New South Wales, from Bob Jolly, Brian Thompson, then Jones, and then the rest of the field streaming through and elbowing their way into Honda Corner.
Heading down to the lake for the first time, Keith Carling in the Mazda, just holding out Bob Jolly.
He said to me before the start of the race, if only I can get in their way, and more cars off the circuit back at Honda Corner. A couple of the back markers, car 109 in there.
The flag is out as they stretch it up the hill. Carling now leads. Here's Jolly going for the inside run. Thompson goes the outside. Do they get to the top? Not much room there for error. Carling into Dunlop Loop. Jolly, Victorian driver who enjoys his sports sedan racing here at Amaroo Park, and also Brian Thompson. They're having a great scrap, but they've got a lot of work to do yet to get on even terms with Keith Carling.
Little Mazda produces about 300 brake horsepower and is a very light car, around about 750 kilos. And that's its real advantage, that it's so nimble. In fact, he was saying he had an awful lot of trouble trying to get tyres that he could get to come up to temperature on this car. Most people are worrying about wearing tyres out and overheating them. Bob Jolly in second place, looking to force his way through on the inside. I think he might have just squeezed through, side by side.
Oh, isn't it dull racing with the wings too? Heading up the hill, and Jolly goes through to take over the lead. An absolute brilliant move there, splitting them, heading to the top of Betchapave Hill once again. Here's Jolly.
Look at Thompson arguing on the outside, almost rubbing the flares as he went through Dunlop. Gee, that was very close. So Jolly in car 3 in the McCulloch entry.
And Thompson, Kenworth Trucks entry, looking for just a simple mistake here on the part of Bob Jolly. Jolly keeping it nice and straight on the road as he comes down to the left-hander at Honda. Tell you what, for thunder and lightning, I think these cars haven't put the spectators up on their feet at Amaroo.
I spoke with Brad Jones before this event. He's driven the Chev Monza car number 4 for Brian Thompson, done a bit of test driving. He said you just cannot believe it when you light it up. An example there as Thompson comes out of that right-hander in second gear and lays an enormous bed of rubber as he puts power to the ground.
There's Carling.
Very exciting driving one of these to the top of the hill. Carling still hanging on in third place from the Alfa Romeo, driven by Eric Jones. Look at Thompson working hard at the wheel, keeping this car online.
Thompson still has it all to do with the race shortened now to 5 laps from its original intended distance of 10, or Jolly a little sideways, and now Thompson slips down, thinking about an inside. Jolly closes the door. They come out of Honda Corner.
Just over a lap to go. Car 14 in third place, Keith Carling still.
Carling's actually closed the gap a little once more as Brian Thompson attempts to figure out a way of putting more rubber on the road and getting through on the inside. Last lap board comes out. Carling still in touch there in third place.
Here comes
Thompson, the last minute desperate manoeuvre. Very difficult place to do it. There's Jones in the background in fourth in the Alfa Romeo. Thompson, of course, one of the great supporters of Australian motor racing in all kinds of classes. He loves getting into this Monza and he's really making a fist of it at the moment. Battle between the two Victorians. Can Thompson get through?
Oh,
Jolly
these guys
attempting to keep himself as wide as he can in the closing stages.
have absolutely had it between them since the start of the race. Mike Griffin, who came off the front row, dropped back immediately and hasn't been sighted since. And the top three have had it between them: Carling, Thompson and Jolly. And coming round the last corner, it's Bob Jolly from Victoria in front. He's going to take the checkered flag, no doubt about it. Bob Jolly is first, Brian Thompson second, and the early leader, Keith Carling, slots into third position as they cross the finish line at the end of 5 very hectic laps here at Amaroo Park this afternoon in the Comalco Wonderlic Sports Sedan Series, round 3. Bob Jolly from Victoria, here's the winner. Brian Thompson takes second, and Keith Carling slots into third place. That's the 1, 2, 3.